Continuing with our video series, I would like to welcome Greg Head. After 20 years of building successful products and brands in the software business, Greg is now CEO of New Avenue, where he advises CEOs and emerging tech companies on their marketing and growth strategies. Hi Greg, thanks for joining us today.
Hi Ernie, appreciate it. Pleasure to be here.
So as you know, we're here talking about the upcoming year 2010. And I'm just going to jump right in with the first question, if you don't mind, and ask you basically what you think your predictions or guesses are for internet marketing industry in the year ahead.
Well, I deal with a lot of startup and emerging tech companies who are growing their businesses. So they're not still at the cutting edge of internet marketing. But in 2010, I think for all kinds of businesses, small ones especially, it's the year that a lot of the new things we've all been talking about get more mainstream. Social media, filtering is one of the cool things that's happening out there, but really this next year is the year that small businesses really start to get social media integrated into their businesses and start to deliver richer content and video and progress up the food chain. And also understand that smartphones are going more mainstream. The browsing experience is happening on the web more often. We'll see a lot more web marketing going after the mobile user next year.
Gotcha. Well, and I know that you do focus on, I guess, startups and investments and management and so on and so forth. So, what do you see specifically wrapped around that in the year 2010?
Well, it's been a tough year and a half for startups, investors, and the whole investment game, whether it's angels, investors, or VCs. Startups have had a bad time just in their business environment, which has made it difficult to get investment to grow. Angel investors have their portfolios in all kinds of things that have compressed, and they're licking their wounds this year. So there hasn't been a lot of investment happening at the levels we've seen in the bubble years. So it's a non-bubble year. But the good news is, though, there's been so much change and dislocation in the market that it wounds the big competitors that little guys go after. And it creates new opportunities and change that small companies can grow on. So the ones that have started and are growing and building this year have great DNA, the discipline of making revenue, controlling expenses, and managing their market presence more efficiently. So next year, I think the stock market is come back slightly this year. We're going to see more heady IPOs and acquisitions that we didn't see this year when valuations were down. Now, valuations being down for little companies and the exits is great for the buyer, the investor. So this year we've seen great companies at good deals for investors. Next year, we're going to see more IPOs. Don't know whether it's the LinkedIn, the Twitter, or the Facebook, but some of that excitement about exits is going to create investment at the bottom end of the food chain where it's needed for startups.
Yeah, great. Look forward to it, actually. So I'm going to ask you something really difficult, and that's to just point out one critical issue that those in the internet entrepreneurial space should be concerned about in 2010.
Well, it's hard to, as we know, it's creating a company and being an entrepreneur and making great things happen in the world isn't just one thing. But the internet entrepreneuring space, the new technology web space, is so competitive and so active right now that the big thing for entrepreneurs these days is to focus. With limited resources and limited ability to get your message through to the marketplace, you really, everybody wants to change the world and be the next big thing, but most of those big things started out as the small things that had focus. Amazon was books, Twitter was just for those people, and it changed the world eventually. So they've really got to focus and be great to a smaller group, narrow target market of users. Because if you're not great for somebody, they're not going to tell your story for you. And you can't succeed unless your fans are telling your story these days. You can't spend your way into a market presence anymore.
Gotcha. Great. That's great information. Really appreciate it. I want to thank you for your time, and we'll see you in 2010.
Thanks, Arnie. It's been my pleasure.
You bet, Craig.